I've got your stuff. Do you want it now or after?
After I do.
Okay.
You're kind of busy.
Yeah. Thanks.
Get out a chair. Here, you want this one? Oh, good, Brad. Good. How you doing? Not too bad. How you enjoying it?
Put you right there in front of the camera.
I don't like to answer that question. Staying on the Fifth Amendment.
There you go.
Okay. I might say something that shouldn't.
This small out here, is this your fault?
I didn't bring it. In fact, I don't want it.
Yeah, I've been shaking for a while.
I don't think it was Thursday. Got the lawnmower out of the shed. Swapped it with a snowblower.
Yeah, I don't. Probably. Yeah, I'm fine. I was born 47, but I never made
My question is, I'm assuming you added any of these things, but it's not going to be that much time or deduct so much more. So are all these things included? We got the Alexis. Because I want to make sure that there's front power and phone is included. Yeah, I don't
So I'm just writing.
How you doing? Okay. Just checking. See if it had back of my head.
I read all of it. I just, my question because there wasn't.
Yes.
See, this one doesn't tell me except for that it's been what you had everything wrote out for and all.
Why not be tired?
And that's fine, that's fine. And this just, when I was here, I got it. Reading all this and everything. They added all these other things in here. And,
Yeah, so you mentioned that.
so that's what we have to get there. Okay, so what they gave you a bid for is exactly what Alexis gave us a bid for, but then they
He's actually used to it. Of course, he got all the coverage. I'm sure it's on eBay.
I read everything.
Man. They don't call them outfits because guys don't have outfits. I learned that a long time ago. I know. Yeah, he did not wear outfits. Well, if you had it already,
Specified for the bids. So everything that you had in here is in these bids. You swear to that? I think I just got answered.
Busy place?
Minutes is up. Thank you for your comments. Important meeting over. She's watching the second. You watch.
Meeting will come to order. Please stand for pledge. Can you call the roll, please?
Don Stedman. Lisa Note.
Here.
Melanie Arbogast.
Here.
Val Manette.
Here.
Debbie Terry.
Here. I am seeking approval of the March 10th, 2014 board meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion?
I so move.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Seeking the approval of the March 24th, 2014 special meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion for approval?
I'll support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I'm seeking approval of the April 1st, 2014 special meeting minutes.
I'll support.
Do I hear a motion?
That's.
Lyle, are you making them? Motion and Don supporting. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. You have your reports that are on file. And the first agenda item is board nomination for the office of clerk.
I will be recusing myself at this point.
Thank you. All right, we did have a general idea of how to work this with nominations. And the potential is there for 1 up to 4 nominations. There's 4 of us here. So if I could, please. At the meeting, the supervisor will recognize nominations from the township board. Each member of the township board shall have an opportunity to nominate 1 candidate from those submitted in timely applications met with the township board for the interview. So I'm gonna call the nominations by roll, if possible. If I could start with you, Debbie. And it's a voice
Okay.
nomination.
I nominate Richard Parker.
Okay. Lyle, do you have a different nomination?
No.
Don, do you have a different nomination?
I don't know what it is. Richard Parker.
Okay, you don't have a different one, and I also do not have a different nomination. So at this point, since all nominations are for the same person, I close the nomination. And now we will voice vote recommendation from the attorney is that we voice who the candidate is we are voting for. There is only one, however. So if I can hear a motion for appointment for Richard Parker to fill the vacancy of clerk effective May 1st, 2014, and to fill the term that is being vacated by the clerk. Do I hear a nomination? Do I hear a appointment?
Before I do that, can I just say something?
We should appoint and second and then have discussion.
Okay, all right. I move that we nominate Richard Parker for the clerk's position starting May 1st, 2014. What else?
It was just to finish the term.
Okay, to finish the term of the clerk that he's taking the place of.
Okay, we have a motion support. Now, you have discussion?
Yes, I would just like to say that it was a hard decision to make, and that, as far as our township goes, I feel that, Mr. Parker, in the place that we're in right now, has the best qualifications for helping us. But I sincerely appreciate everybody that came in. We had some really great people, and I really hope that, just as Gail Dornbush mentioned at the meeting before, that you will start coming to the meetings and getting involved in the township. I really, I feel bad, I don't like to tell people that I don't want them, because you're all wanted. But at this time frame, Mr. Parker was the best candidate to be able to help us with the township, and that's what we had to look at, so.
I echo her sentiments. It's not an easy choice. It never is. Any other?
Yes, I have to agree with that. I really was listening to all that went on that day. And coming from where I come from, I would have liked to have gotten a very young guy. But I just couldn't, after looking at all of these, and then going back home and looking at them again and again. Really up until about yesterday, I think it was, where I firmed it up and said, that's all I can do. You need a man or a person like that, simply because, you all were great coming, and that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Lyle, do you have any? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Debbie,
Yes.
Lyle,
Yes.
Melanie,
Aye.
Don.
Yes.
Motion is carried. I'm gonna say congratulations, Mr. Parker. And we look forward to working with you.
Yes, very much so.
And thank you to everyone that came tonight for that. All right, Lisa is back. And the next agenda item is audit proposals. There was 2 audit proposals. Lake Michigan CPA Services, fee of $3,500, or the Gabridge and Company CPA Services for $3,640. The current audit that we have is the Lake Michigan, or that we've been using, the Lake Michigan CPA Services. So, and this is document 041414-01. Do I hear a motion for that document number, choosing one of the applicants?
I move that we choose Lake Michigan CPA Services for a fee of $3,500.
Is there support?
I
Good. We have 2 support. Which one are you going with? They both support at the same time?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, is there any discussion before we move forward? Roll call vote, please.
Debbie,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Lyle,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Melanie.
Aye. Motion is carried. Please make note of the document number in there, the 041414-01. The next item is something we discussed before and we actually approved, was to go with the brining They finally did get us the breakdown of how it's determined by roads. A much more precise, way of doing that. Which the cost came in at $8,719.20. We budgeted $9,000. Because of the new way that they are determining how the roads are being calculated in the Bryan application, I would like to still move forward to adopt document 041414-03 regarding this new formula. Do I hear a motion?
What did you say the cost to township was?
$8,179.20.
Got
And
my
we,
numbers flipped.
we put 9,000 in there, estimated 9,000 for the budgeting.
I make the motion.
I'll support.
Did you get the motion, Laura? Okay. Hear a motion to accept document 041414-03, made by Don, supported by Lisa. Roll call, please.
Don,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Debbie,
Yes.
Melanie,
Aye.
Lyle.
Motion is carried. The next thing on the agenda is the Pride Days, or the free dump days. We're going with the same formula that in the past, the one Wednesday and one Saturday. The proposed dates for Blue Lake Township are Wednesday 5/14 and Saturday 5/17. That'll be for the residents to use their coupon on one of those days. We are going to send out a newsletter, and that will have the coupon on it like we've done in the past. So this is document 041414-06, and I'm seeking a motion to approve Blue Lake Township to participate in the 2014 White Lake Area Solid Waste Authority Pride Day as scheduled. Document 041414-06.
So moved.
Is there support? Motion by Debbie, support by Lyle. Roll call, please.
Any other discussion?
Sure, discussion, please.
I just want people to know that it does cost the township money to be able to,
It does one day. There is one day of free tipping or 1 day of free dump that is, that the county offers, and that is Saturday.
okay,
Wednesday is covered by the Solid Waste Authority through the monies paid by the municipalities that participate. So yes, there is a cost, and it's based on a formula, how they figure that out.
okay.
So yes,
Yeah, I just wanted people
Sure.
to know that,
that's good
that we
information.
do support this and
Yeah.
the people of Blue Lake Township in order for them to be able to get rid of some of the things they need to after the long winter we've had.
And we put a line in the budget accordingly,
Right,
so.
right. Okay, thank
Roll
you.
call, please.
Debbie,
Yes.
Lyle,
Yes.
Melanie,
Aye.
Don,
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Motion is carried. The next one is information and seeking to have volunteers. This is once again, Laketon Township went for the multi-township grant. It was approved for scrap tire collections, just in case you weren't hearing me okay, Mr. Dale. It is Saturday, May 31st, 9 AM to 2 PM, still at Malali Park. And of course, it's only for residents of Laketon, Fruitland, Dalton, Muskegon, and Blue Lake Townships. Requirements are on a flyer. If you didn't get a flyer and want information, we can certainly make you a copy of the flyer. It's a good event. It was very successful last year, and it was a lot of hard work. So I thank the volunteers, and just in case the fire department wasn't able to participate last year because of training, so hopefully they know soon enough this year. So that's more just information. And the next one is the clerks.
I have a new schedule fee for ZBA and CBA. It was brought to my attention that the schedule of fees needed to be updated. Based on prior activity, it's my recommendation that the fee schedule for estimated cost should be updated to salaries of $370, a salary tax of $30, publications of $225, and postage and mailings for $10, for a total of $635. it would still be that the initial $1,000 escrow fee be provided by the applicant to the clerk at the time of the application. And no application would be processed prior to the required escrow fee having been deposited with the township clerk. Any excess funds remaining in the escrow account after the application has been fully processed, reviewed, and the final township decision has been rendered regarding the project will be refunded to the applicant with no interest to be paid on those funds. So we're looking for a motion for document 041414-05 on the ZBA and CBA schedule fees.
Do I hear a motion to approve document 041414-05 ZBA and CBA schedule fees?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Debbie, support by Don. Roll call, please.
Debbie,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Melanie,
Aye.
Lyle,
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Does this have to be changed in the budget?
This is what they pay for
Yes,
the
I
escrow.
know how-
No, what it is someone requested information on the fees, and because they requested information on the fees, Butch couldn't find a newer version, and neither could Lisa, so as for estimates, they want to know what it would cost in estimates, so. All right, we are to the fire chief, if they would kindly step up, thank you. The first thing is the truck bids, and that's document 041414-02.
Okay, I gave you, I'm sure each of you have a copy of the two bids, Alexis and KME. We had a total of 5 bid packages sent out. The other 3 manufacturers chose not to respond to the bids because basically they could not make the truck. We have, there's a similar truck up north in Pentwater, I made note of that in that letter, which is what one of the companies was trying to sell us, a bigger version, and that's why these other companies, we didn't really pursue anything after we didn't receive any more contact from them because we knew they wanted to sell us bigger trucks. We don't need bigger trucks, okay? You know the purpose of this, I mentioned it to you in my first letter, to get down these driveways. I knew we budgeted for this truck back in the 2012-2013 fiscal year to set $200,000 aside. A year ago, we went to the fire department instructor conference where all truck manufacturers are, and the committee had talked with many truck manufacturers. Matter of fact, I went out if it was all of them. It was all of them. Some of them won't even deal with us. I mean, they're not gonna make a small truck. So anyway, to make a long story short, you have the 2 bids that were sent in. Oh, the Pentwater truck, by the way, that Circle K was trying to sell us, was $269,000, and again, we don't want a bigger truck, okay? We found out at the FDIC, Fire Department Instructor Conference last year, that there's no way this truck can be built for under $200,000 like we anticipated. So for the current budget year, the 13-14 budget year, I asked that $50,000 be set aside for the new truck, okay, and that was for the one that we're getting. We set $50,000 aside every year anyway, okay, but I just wanted to make sure it was set aside. And with the 2 bids, the 2 bids, which are both over budget, not counting the additional money I asked to be set aside, Alexis came in with the lowest bid, $211,000 and change as opposed to $242,000 and change. So that's the truck that we're recommending. Both of those, the packets that both of the companies sent us are very similar. One company had a minor exception, which we were going to make anyway, and the 2 companies had equal additions. So I mean, you know, you can't get much closer than that. And so, you know, the specs are the same, the additions are the same, the price though, big difference.
stay there, please.
Mhm.
Okay, before we go to discussion, I'm gonna ask for a motion regarding document 041414-02. The current, motion is, there are two bids here. So, he's actually asking for approval of the Blue Lake Township Board to accept the bid from Alexis for the purchase of a new quick attack fire apparatus. The dollar amount is $211,704. Do I hear a motion to approve that document?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Debbie, second by Don, discussion please. And I think, was there some questions regarding?
I actually already asked.
Oh, okay, thank you. So
But
that
I-
was
I have-
clarified?
Yes, but I have another question.
Sure.
It says, you said that everything was exactly the same in both the bids, but isn't it true that Alexis is giving us a longer warranty than what KME would have? So they're actually giving us a better,
Yes, and you saw that in the bid price from KME. We're getting Alexis is giving us a 20-year warranty. KME is not unless we pay an additional, $2,300, I believe, for that,
2,400.
$2,400.
Yeah,
And,
okay. I just wanted
big
to
difference.
make that, and then, it says that that's the amount unless there's any applicable taxes, and I don't believe we,
The only applicable taxes, I think, is going to be in the licensing of the vehicle, which we would have to cover.
either
I think
way.
that's what they meant, but we're tax exempt.
That wouldn't be
Right.
applicable to the
Right.
actual purchase.
Right, and that's what I just wanted to be sure, okay.
Any more discussion?
What size is this truck compared to the one that we have now that's,
1471 we have now,
yes,
the truck is same length. Matter of fact, Lieutenant Traeger, you did all the drawings on it. Why don't you answer?
If you would kindly step up to the microphone, thank you.
I just want a comparison between the two.
Yes. And also keep in mind, as Lieutenant's giving you this comparison, we want even a smaller truck than 71.
1471 truck we currently have, is built on the longest wheelbase that we can get in the Ford F550 series. The truck's constraints were that we wanted to keep it, the smaller truck and a four-wheel drive chassis within the budget that the township could afford. So that limited us on the box length that we could utilize. Another thing was to maintain a lower height. If you took, and you look at 71 the way it is right now, 1471 rather, the way it is right now, it has an additional box built on top of it in order to accommodate some of our rescue equipment. The new truck, the configuration of the box would already encompass that size without any additional building on it. But it's including the much needed hose back area that we need for not only attack lines, but also for being able to lay in to supply the truck with water. So overall, if you were to park the truck side by side, they'd be very comparable in size. It's just that the new truck can do a whole lot more. It has a lot better toolbox on it than what our current 71 has. If you want actual specifics on the measurements of it, Alexis was going with a 94-inch wide box, which is the same width box we have right now on our current 1471. The overall box length was 144 inches. The truck ends up being, according to Alexis specs, which according to Abram has sitting with him right there.
The drawings are.
If you need to answer a specific question, we'll have you step up too, please. Do you have a, is that answering your question, or do you need more?
It ends up
No,
being
that answers
about
that
20,
question.
25 foot.
The
And
reason I brought that up, when the other truck was quite new, Dave Burt, Kim Busman, and Fred and I went through all the townships with that truck, trying to determine what roads we could go down, what were roads we couldn't, driveways and so on. We spent 2 full days doing this, and I keep getting the impression now that you're buying a new truck because you can't get down some certain driveways. What was done between that date and now to address that situation, that there's driveways you can't get down? A new truck's not gonna help that, there's still driveways you'll not get down.
The thing that 1471 is not able to do, that the new truck will be able to do, is it only has a limited amount of water on it, as the new truck will have, but it's more than what the 1471 has. But the new truck has the ability to lay in, which means that it can deploy a large diameter hose that can be fed by a larger truck. So some of our driveways and stuff that we have right now, 1471 can make them down there, but it can't receive any support from additional fire apparatus. We needed to be able to receive support from fire apparatus that can lay in and actually feed water to the truck. And so that was one of the main design things that we were looking at in the new truck, is its ability to carry a bed lay of hose with it and be able to lay into these driveways and narrower, some of the narrow driveways and roads that we have up around Blue Lake, as well as some of the more woodland settings. Does that help you at all on?
Are you going to check out all these driveways now with a new truck then, and let these people know if they can't get down your certain driveways, or?
I think that's a Larry question.
Yeah, Larry, or the chief would like to answer that question.
We're gonna start that, as a matter of fact, as soon as this is approved. If it's not approved, well, there's really no sense to do it. We'll identify these as time goes on. But that's one thing we're gonna do, and like Lieutenant mentioned, this new truck is gonna be even a lower profile than the present 71, and with a supply line, which we don't have on 71. We're also gonna have a foam injection system on it, which is going to inject wet water into the water coming from the tank. And the wet water is gonna make the water stick better on whatever we're putting it on. It's not gonna run off as quickly. So that's another feature that we're gonna have. But the biggest thing is supply line. We're gonna have, a good amount of supply line, and in spite of the truck being smaller, the committee found a way to do that.
So we didn't have the capability in the other fire trucks in order to have the foam?
We have foam on the present, we have a foam system on the present 71. We're gonna have a wet water system though. We don't need to, there are different categories of foam. The present 71 has the means for Class B foam. Class B foam is more expensive than wet water is, okay?
Okay.
So, the system that they have designed for the foam, for the new truck, is gonna be for applying wet water on the fire. And again, wet water is a substance that's put in the water that makes the water stick better onto the building, the walls inside the building, the ceiling, whatever it is we're putting it on.
Anything else?
Do we have to do anything with the budget for this increase?
Yeah, that's the next line item.
We just have to amend it.
Yeah, well, we don't even have to amend the budget, it's within their department. However, because we were putting it as reserved, we're gonna deal with that as the next line item. So then there's more information on that. Do you have any?
Another question, are you gonna try to sell the other truck between now and when the new one comes, or are you gonna just hold it, or?
We're gonna hold it until we know what the projected date is, within a reasonable amount of time of projected date. Then we're gonna put it up for sale. And if it goes before we get the new truck, we're gonna take our medical equipment off and we're gonna put it on our van, and that'll be responding to medical center. So yes, we are gonna sell the present truck at Station 2, 1472. And that money is gonna go right back into the new truck line item. It's not gonna go into anything else for new equipment, it's gonna go right back into the new truck.
The reserved.
The reserve.
Any other questions?
I know sometimes you think I'm against the fire department, I'm chairman of the association and support you guys, but I just wonder sometimes if something like this is the right investment to make.
Well, like I mentioned in my first letter that I sent you, I really believe that the people with the driveways who have driveways that we cannot get the big trucks down, deserve better protection than we can give them right now, and that's the purpose. And I know we're taking, I guess you'd call it a relatively new truck and getting rid of it, single-purpose truck, okay? And you might say, well, why don't we wait for X number of years and then do it? Well, in X number of years, according to my replacement schedule, is gonna be something like 20, 23 years. I can't, if we're not gonna get rid of it now, I can't see getting rid of it in a few years from now, you know, for that same reason. So, basically, it's time to make the move and get onto another cycle where we can, once we get that new truck, I'm gonna project when that new truck is gonna be replaced. I'm working on a replacement plan right now. I believe I gave you a copy of the plan as it was at the time. It's changed since then. You'll get a final copy of the apparatus replacement plan, once I confirm a few more things. And you know, if you take a look at that when you get it, and I'll explain it then, if you take a look at that plan when you get it, and keep in mind the monies that are coming in every tax year, the fact that we're putting $50,000 away every year, boy, I'll tell you, we're gonna have a nice reserve. And we're gonna be able to pay cash just like we're doing for this one, for when we have to replace the bigger ones. And the bigger ones, by the way, in the future, hopefully aren't gonna be as big as they are now. We don't need them that big.
I don't
So-
believe we received any projected yet.
Uh,
We discussed it,
I'm
you were
kinda
working
glad
on
you
it.
did, because like I say, it might have misled you. I'd rather give you the final one than one that's in the first draft stage, and that's what we would have gotten had I given it to you. So,
Well, I know that my feeling on the trucks, if this new truck will save one person, it's worth the money.
Yes.
And I think with the hose that can hook up to another truck in order to supply the water, we didn't have that before, that's going to be a big plus in fighting fires, and that it has medical on it also, am I correct with that? So you're going to have double duty with this new truck.
and PIs, accidents, we will have the equipment for
Right,
that too now.
but I mean, you know, I'm looking at it going down a driveway that's hard to get down and getting there.
And we have many in the township.
And roadways too, and you know, if anybody, if you wanna drive down Crystal Lake Road, just from Lawrenson to, or, I'm sorry, Timber Trail to Automobile, that'll answer your question. And if you wanna drive down Evergreen, I'm concerned about the homes on the, as you're going north on Evergreen, I'm concerned about the homes on the right-hand side, the west side of Evergreen. We can't, there's a turn there, there's no way we can get down that turn with a big truck, yet alone the trees and everything, the height of the trees. So we're not only talking about homes, we're talking about roadways, some roadways too in the township.
So what is the plan as far as writing letters to the people that have driveways?
Well, first of all, we're gonna identify those driveways, in our driver training. You know, we might as well kill two birds with one stone in our driver training. Instead of driving around the roads and just driving around the roads to get our new driver's experience, we're gonna drive along the roads and we're gonna identify the driveways that might be questionable. We'll check them out with a smaller vehicle after that. And then, if, you know, again, I don't like going on private property, unless I'm invited. So, you know, we're gonna try to do that as much as we can, and then let the people know. There is a letter coming out, Can We Find You, Can We Get There, the newsletter, that's been out practically every year since we started that. Again, we can't force people to widen their driveways to a width of 14 feet and to a height of 11 feet. We can't force them to do that. So, and then again, you also have to keep in mind the fact that, you know, during the winter, those pine trees, you know, that were 20 feet above are now like about 13, 14 feet with the weight of all the snow, the lower branches. So, we can't force people to do that, we can recommend it. In our heat loss inspection program right now, we have a place on the sheet where these driveways are recorded, and a copy of the heat loss inspection sheet is given to the homeowner when we leave. And, you know, I've been doing the heat loss inspections, I will mention it to the homeowner, and, you know, if they do something, fine, but again, we can't make them do anything.
Well, I understand that, but just as long as we have a plan in place that we identify the roadways and let people know, because, you know, there may be somebody out there that thinks that their driveway is just fine.
Exactly.
But if we identify it and let them know, even though we put it in the newsletter, how many people look at the newsletter and say, oh, I'm okay, you know? And then you find out that you're not, so.
And I believe it was you who suggested
Right.
last time about asking Mary to do that, if she's going
Yes.
along and do that, and I've talked with her, and we're in
Yes.
agreement on that. All she's gonna do is identify these driveways, give me the address, and we'll go check them out from there, and, you know, make any contact that we can make at that time. So,
All right.
we're not gonna give up on that just because we're getting a lower profile truck. No, we're still gonna keep
That's what I wanted to.
doing that, because, you know, there may be a time where maybe we'll have two fires going in at one time, and we got the little one tied up, and, you know, now we gotta get down another driveway. So no, we're not gonna give up on that just because we got a low profile truck. That's a program that we're gonna keep on promoting, when we find it, when we get there, and, you know, that's, the plan, that's gonna last forever. And we're not gonna take this off the heat loss inspection sheet, we're gonna keep that on there and make recommendations as we come across these driveways. Our next project, like I said, is to identify even more of these driveways than we already have, so we can start getting the information to dispatch, so they can flag it. And, you know, I wouldn't mind even now, it's gonna be about a year before we get the new truck, okay, but I wouldn't mind even now, having them, you know, changing the run card to dispatch 1420, one on a structure fire and one of these driveways, instead of 1420.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Is there,
What did you just say a few minutes ago about private drives, you don't wanna go down them, or you can't, or what?
Technically, we're not really allowed to go on private property unless it's a call. Now, I'm sure that, you know, nobody's gonna really object to us once I explain why we're doing it. But the point is, you know, we're not, you know, we can inspect, businesses, we have the right to do that, but we don't have the right to go on private property and check driveways out.
I think Steve has to leave, so. Is there any other questions for Steve before you?
Any technical questions?
Any further questions from the board? And yes, that is going in the newsletter. Okay, we have a motion on the table to approve document 041414-02. We have a motion with second. Roll call, please.
Debbie,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Lyle,
Yes.
Melanie,
Aye.
Teresa.
Yes.
Motion is carried. That brings us to the second portion. That's where the budget issue was. We only budgeted $200,000 in that line item. But there was a beginning of a future vehicle purchase reserved funds. It is within the department, so he can move it, but what he wants to do is have the board approval to move that additional funding out of that reserved to pay for this vehicle, so that would increase that truck line item. And then when the truck sells, the monies from that sale of that truck will go into this reserve line.
Okay,
So does that, so, what was the,
So do we just put $11,704, or because there are tax and license plates to go on it also?
there will be, and I have no idea what those are. So the question is, do you want to, it is within the department, so we can move monies from one line to the other. What perhaps the best thing to do would be to recommend that they are able to move the additional funded needed for that truck and the tags and licensing from,
At a different date?
right, well, the thing is, truthfully, when you order that truck, you pay for the chassis first, correct?
When they send us the invoice for the chassis, that's what the agreement was in terms of what we
Right.
paid, correct?
So you're paying for that first.
Yes.
So, and then in a year,
From that time, I'd say probably about 9 months, 10 months.
so
from that time.
the question is, because we approved the truck and that amount of funding is not totally in that line item,
Right,
that he would like to move at least that 11,740
704.
from line, are you ready? 205-901-970 .001 to line 205-901-970. And that's document 041414-04.
So that's for $11,704.
Correct. Do I hear a motion to approve document 041414-04, moving the funds in the two line items as listed? Did you write them? Could you read back the motion, please?
Motion was to move additional funding out of the reserve to pay for the new truck at a cost of $11,704 from line item 205-901-970.001 to line item 205-901-970.
So moved.
Document number, yeah, all right, so Debbie moved. Do I have support? Don supported, roll call please.
Debbie?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Lyle?
Yes.
Melanie?
Aye, motion is carried. Thank you, Larry. Okay, we'll move on to accounts payable.
For the electronic federal tax payment, we have a payment of $2,405, and I recommend that we pay it.
Is there support?
I support.
Don?
Did Don? Okay.
Sorry, I'm talking a little loud.
Roll call,
Talking a
please.
little loud.
Roll call, please.
Lyle?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Debbie?
Yes.
Melanie?
Aye,
Lisa?
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, for the regular March 2014 expenses, general fund, $12,606.94. Fire equipment, $29,166. Fire operating fund, $6,080.95. Building department, $344.70. PTAF fund, $1,174.74. Streetlights, $181.19, for a total $49,554.52. And I make the motion we pay those bills.
Is there support? Motion by Lyle, support by Lisa, roll call please.
Lyle?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Melanie?
Aye,
Don?
Yes.
Debbie?
Yes.
motion is carried. Before we move to public comment, we have two gentlemen in our audience. Mr. Alan Jaeger is running for 91st District. If he would like to step up to the microphone and say something.
I go first, huh?
You do.
You're on.
Ken's hiding.
Yeah, I'm hiding.
He can clean me up after I make all a whole bunch of mistakes. Anyway, I'm Alan Jagger. I am running as a 91st State House Representative. I'm gonna run as an independent, so it'll be away from both parties, which I believe bought and paid for. And I don't want to be an ass through. I could tell you all about my family and everything, but I don't want to bore you all with it. Yeah, I have enough problems and you guys have problems and you know me. I believe in the government is passing way too many laws. Last year, they passed 460 more laws and regulations. There was 444 introduced. What's happening is our townships are being lost, and our cities are being ate up, and paperwork is killing you. And this is something that needs to stop. For every one bill they pass, they ought to get rid of 4. Go a different direction, and see if we can do that. The next thing is, next year, or within 3 years, every school in Muskegon County will be bankrupt. Or not bankrupt, what they'll be doing is borrowing money. Some of them will be actually bankrupt by that time. We cannot keep running on this order. We're gonna lose our schools. I can see Holton being just a resort. So we're gonna lose our school. And this is not even partially acceptable. I think in that area, what we need to do is cut regulations. You can talk to the superintendent of Mesquite, or the whole school, of the Mesquite County Schools, the whole thing. And we have so many regulations, they can't keep up to the paperwork anymore. And this is something we need to stop and just back to the laws, too big a government. The third thing, I wanna fight for small businesses like mine. If you have under 20 employees, we are the ones that hire the high school dropouts, in just a high school education anymore, all the prisoners, all that stuff. We're the ones that are doing this. And my business used to have 20 employees, and they were virtually all this style of employee. They are now, I have no employees, with no intention of ever hiring another employee. The only way we would do it would be pay cash. This is reality. This is going on all over. Well, with that idea in mind, if we don't do something, these people wind up on welfare. We all pay for them. So either we pay for them by letting us businesses try to work these people. Don't give me so many laws, I can't work at people anymore. Make it so we can work people. That keeps them off the welfare rolls, puts insurance on them, and makes it so you all don't have to pay for them. But when we pass all these laws, and you take businesses like mine, when you only have 20 employees, I can't handle the paperwork that a guy with 500 employees handles. They can have 15 employees, just handling paperwork. I can't. So when they stick it out stuff on me, all it means is I'm getting rid of employees. And I can guarantee you, almost every one of them employees is now on welfare that I had work for me. I had some of them work for me over 10 years, and they're all gone. And it's not because of lack of work, it's because I can't do the paperwork. We cannot hire them anymore. The fines, the penalties, just every week I'm in schools, all that can't go on anymore. And so my idea is smaller government, and I'm running on smaller government. That's where I'm gonna stay. And thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
And remember to vote in November, because it's big. And I won't be in the front.
Thank you, Alan. And Mr. Ken Mahoney, the county chair for the county commissioners.
Okay, Ken Mahoney, and School County Chair. I hope I'm bought and paid for pretty soon. I'm not seeing the cash, Alan, but if you wander down by the courthouse, there's a hole in the ground in the parking lot called Building Jail. That's moving forward probably by the end of September 2015. That will be completed. Across the street on South Campus is a juvenile youth home that will allow us to do treatment better than the facility we have now. And we're going to be doing a new transportation system downtown. We got some government grants to upgrade and make that a better facility for the buses. And with that, we also hope to eventually, we have some plans of moving buses to northern Muskegon County. With that, if anybody has any questions, I'm around a lot.
Thank you. All right, public comment. Anybody that would like to? Yeah.
Bill Wiesner, 21, the address 1318 East White Lake Drive. I want to thank Lisa for the help they gave me when I came up a few times to get help. I want to thank the board and the people of Blue Lake Township that worked on the tire recycle last year. If you would have told me ahead of time that we'd get that many tires unloaded in a short period of time and the trucks in and out, I wouldn't have believed it. But I seen how they came well organized and it was a tremendous job. Unfortunately, a week and a half ago, I made reservations up in Canada and I'm leaving the 28th.
Oh,
That's it, I'm not going.
thank you, thank you.
Jail's not there, I'm not going.
Thank you. All right, public comment, Mary?
As you all probably know, I'm Marion Nash, I live at 2242 Raymond Road, and I've been the assessor of Blue Lake Township now as of this month, 33 years. I rolled over my first database, it was 1982. I have enjoyed my job most of the time. There were some rough spots also. There have been times in this office that you could cut the tension with a knife. There have also been times when I have enjoyed coming to work. I would like the public to know that the last year and a half have been the best to work here. The people that work here get along and talk about their differences. It has been real nice working here, the best ever. I realize that people criticize and that everyone talks everyone down, but please understand that they do not work here. They do not know what is really going on from day to day. The people elected are trying really hard. I personally think they are doing a terrific job. I am a little bit tired of the bashing that they have to take. They don't deserve it. I want the board to know that I think that they're doing a very good job. And don't let the undertow get you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Well, we got two, so we'll go with.
Yes, my name is Bob Luce. I live on 24th Street. Concerning the appointment for the clerk job, I think there's a number of people in the audience that would agree that Mr. Arbogast was the most qualified to handle that position, having done it for almost 3 decades flawlessly, who can walk in. And I think the board's decision to appoint somebody else for the job was vengeful. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Larry Raggy, Board Township Fire Department. First of all, I'd like to recognize the committee, the truck committee, Lieutenant Bridges, who's chairperson, Lieutenant Schrader, and Coordinator Abram. They did an excellent job. 2 years, just a lot of hours. The committee actually, this is like the third version of that committee. The plans for the new truck started back probably about 4 years ago. So, the other thing I wanted to mention, 2 other things. I'd like to thank Lisa for the job that she's done. And second, some of you got a call today during this afternoon regarding the warning about the river flooding. Thanks to the efforts of Coordinator Abram, we've identified homes along the river that might be in danger of flooding as a result of the rising waters. We have in Mesquite County, we have a first call system. I activated that system today with the addresses that Coordinator Abram gave me. You automatically get a call warning you of the potential danger. If you did not get a call, the reason you did not get a call is because, first of all, your home may not have been identified as one that could flood. And second, if you no longer have a landline and you don't have Frontier, your dispatch does not have your phone number. First call does not have your phone number. So if you're in that situation, you want to go online and go to firstcall.com. And then you look for the heading regarding enrollment. There's no fee for enrollment. Okay, once you enroll, First Call will have your number. And then dispatch will automatically contact you. And this isn't only for flooding. Any big disaster, we use it in our ground search and rescue team to get information in a big area to alert people that there's a missing person and a short description and so on. So anyway, if you got the call, that's the way the system works. If you didn't get the call and you don't have a landline, then enroll if you have a cell phone. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any more public comment?
Can I stay here?
You can,
Is
I
there
was just gonna
somebody
see,
else?
because you'll be recorded, no, I was gonna see if there's anybody else out
If there's
there.
nobody else, I'll be the last.
Board
one.
members, actually, I do too, but go ahead.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need my address, Laura? Okay, I just wanted to let everybody know that we had a great race last month. My husband and I were the race directors of the St. Patrick's Day race. It was the 6th annual. It was very cold. But it was actually a nice day compared to most of the days we had this winter. We had 113 people run the 5K. They did very well, and we had a new race this year. We had 9 and under, called the Pot of Gold 9 and under run. And we had 9 little kids, 9 and under, run a half mile. And I'll tell you, you've never seen such enthusiasm at the start of a race. By the time they came in, though, some of them were a little dead. But it was a lot of fun, and I think that the kids enjoyed it. They got their medals, and they brought them to school, and they are very proud of what they did. So I think we're going to add more to that. Anyway, we raised $2,100, the Firefighters Association did, and we used that money, thank you. We used that money to buy things for the fire department that they have a wish list that they can't get otherwise. And we okayed at our last meeting, we paid for a new portable pump for them that they can carry a lot easier than the old one. They're going to be selling the old one that they had. It was very big and hard for them to get around, so now they have a new portable one. So I want to thank everybody that helped, because it takes a lot of people to help in order to put this race on. But it was fantastic again, and we look forward to seeing more people next year. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else on the board? Okay. I do. I want to thank, again, the applicants, all of them. And thank you for coming, and please stay involved. Like you said, this is come see what's going on, be a part of it. And I would like to thank Lisa for her service. I wish her the best in her future endeavor. I would like to welcome Mr. Parker and say, okay, are you sure you knew what you were getting into? So when you put in an application, but I too thank the board to continue to work together. It's not that we don't have different opinions and vote different or ask questions, and however it works, but ultimately as a team, our job is to do the best we can for our township on a whole, which is not always easy. That's my comment.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Thank you for your time.
Hearing no other comments, meeting is adjourned at 7:56 p.m. Thank you,
Use the free. Yeah. That's it. I don't know yet.
No, I know you don't get numbers. Yeah, it comes out of your pocket just like it did mine. I remember.
I thought you were for the things have changed a lot.
No, I'm
Updated the filing time. So that's cool. Carry time, 2060.
don't have a lot of
Okay.